Boogeyman, Title Boxing Club Pittsburgh with your focus point. Now last week, we divided the body in half. We worked on the two sides, the lead side. We worked on the rear side. Did them separately. This week, we're gonna work on another half of the body, the bottom half, everything below the belt. Now, hopefully, you know, if you've been to at least one class with us, that every punch starts below the belt. It doesn't start in your hands, your shoulders, your chest, none of that. It starts in the legs. The first thing that happens when you throw any punch is you push your foot into the ground. From there, the hip starts to turn, the knee starts to turn, the trunk starts to turn, then the shoulder goes, then there's the punch, and at the end, call this the kinetic chain. It moves up from the ground up through the kinetic chain. That's where we get our power from. At least 80% of our power should come from that, should come from our legs and our hips and our core. Of course, there's also things we do in boxing that utilize the legs even more. There are things like footwork, moving around, changing direction, and then of course, not standing there, throwing punches, moving around. There's even some leaping punches. We can even step as we punch, do things like a pivot hook, or I would say hot sauce cross, or even a gazelle hook. All that fun stuff really uses the legs, gets us away from just standing in one place and punching. We want to avoid that being statues. We want to use those legs and move around. Then there are punches like the jab and cross to the body, down to the body, where we don't just punch low, we actually bend our knees and throw those jabs and crosses down to the body. It's the same mechanic, but we bend our knees as we do it. Then there's also the overhand. The overhand comes at a downward angle, so I'm bending my knees as I throw that overhand. I talked about that a lot lately. What goes down must come up, so when we throw uppercuts, it's the same thing. I'm loading, bending my knees like a spring, lifting up and throwing that uppercut using my legs as the primary power source along with a hip and rotation. Even a liver shot is coming at an upward angle. So I'm doing that little lift as I throw it. And I guess the spleen too, right? Same thing, is the same kind of punch. Then there's defense. Of course, rolls, ducking down, or even just a straight drop where you duck down, where we're bending your legs, you're essentially doing a squat. And then, of course, everybody's favorite, burpees. Burpees as well. Now, you might say technically burpees don't have anything to do with boxing, and you would be right, except burpees do strengthen your legs, build anaerobic cardio. Those are all things that will help you in everything else we talked about. So this week, we're gonna focus a lot on the legs. A lot of this stuff that I told you about, the stuff, the jabs across the body, the footwork, moving in and out, leaping around, jumping around, ducks, rolls, everything to maximize the legs, make them even stronger. And yes, we'll do some other leg exercises, including but not limited to burpees, because it's going to make your legs stronger, which is going to make your punches better, it's going to make your boxing better, which is going to make you healthier, stronger, yada, yada, yada. Now, there's a couple problems I see, though, a lot as it relates to legs. Common mistakes. I mean, the main one is really just not using your legs to punch and just using your arms and chest. That one hopefully is obvious. But another issue that I see a little bit more is people not having a really solid stance and not anchoring down into the ground. So if you're up, let's say you're up really tall, maybe your feet are too close together, or maybe you're really wide, or even when you step, you take extra steps, you bring your feet together, move around. I want you to stop that. I want you to really focus on making that stance strong, making your steps deliberate. That's right, that's a word, and powerful. And I want you to think about anchoring down into the ground, taking steps that are necessary, not extra steps, not happy feet, but being very efficient. One thing I like to consider when getting into a good solid stance, I've said this before, is imagine that somebody's going to push me from any direction. They can push me from the front, the sides, the back, diagonal, whatever. Whatever direction they push me, it doesn't matter. I'm able to resist them equally. So you want to drop down, get into that base out they call it, let the hips come down, and imagine if someone's going to try to push you, you can resist equally. That means you're in a good solid stance. It's all about that base. Now, the other big issue, and this one mystifies me because almost everybody is capable that comes here of bending their knees. I see you do it in the warm-ups. We're doing things like squats, or maybe we're doing lunges, or maybe we're doing drop squats, whatever it is. I see people bending their knees. Mountain climbers, your knees bend. But somehow when we're boxing, the knees stop bending, and I don't understand why. So we see this a lot On the overhand we talked about, where that front leg just stays straight on the overhand, there's no bending instead of dropping down. And I see this even more on the jabs and crosses to the body, where people just kind of punch downward, or maybe there's a little dip in the knees, but not much. No, if you can do a lunge, right? And most of us can. If not, that's fine. We can always modify. If I can do a lunge, there's no reason I can't drop down low and throw that jab or cross to the body. Of course, with uppercuts, there's just using your arms, right? Instead of that little, uppercuts, you don't have to bend your knees that much. Just a little bit is going to make a difference. And then even sometimes on rolls, I'll see this. It's more of a slip, really. But a roll, you have to drop down first, drop first, and then turn. You don't want to run into punches. So I want to see those knees bending. If your knees bend, and we'll find out they can, I want to see them bending, because it really will make you better. All this stuff is not just mindless jibber jabber. This is stuff that's going to help you get better, help you get stronger. It's Thanksgiving week this week. Hopefully we're all going to eat a lot, but I want you to be super strong for this week too, so that you're able to burn all those calories and give thanks to your own body for being so awesome, because that, my friends, is how we do it below the belt.